Alright guys, welcome back. So let's move on to bring our stuff back to Maya. Before I go back, maybe I can just have a few more dying leaves. Yeah. Okay, so one thing we need to do is we need to collect a bunch of maps. That's gonna be based on the final package you'll be using. In this case, I think we just for Maya's part, we just need the color and the opacity and maybe the normal map. Yeah. So let's save those three things. We double click on the color and just save it. Okay. And put it. Need to know where that is. Let me delete that and hit G button to go for export so I can copy this directory. Okay, and just save it to there. Okay, we can call this guy albedo. Okay, and then this guy will be normal. Tap that wrong. And probably need to be renamed to leaf albedo or foliage 01 albedo and foliage 01 normal. Okay. Yeah, that should be fine. Just save it there. And also the roughness, we can deal with this later and just need the opacity. Okay, alright, now back to Maya. We can grab any plane here and just go, I can delete that one for now and create a plane myself. Okay, now what you want to do is make sure that you don't have a lot of edge loops. You can go for 0 or you can just do 3 by 3 or 2 by 2. That's the least you want to go anyways. Also you want to make sure that you got the correct size. So my unit is centimeters, right? So I would go for something like 20 or 30 centimeters, right? That's about the length of your head. Okay, and that's probably gonna be the length of that branch. Okay, and then I'm gonna give it a new material, and this time I can go for boolean and go to the color, go for file and load. Not there again. Shoot. Let me copy this place. Go to boolean, go to the material, go to the texture, and paste that directory. So foliage albedo will be the color here. Hit 6 button to see the color. Alright, and then we can also go back by clicking this button or that button or the boolean here, right? And transparency. So that goes to also a file, and this time opacity. Okay, and also we don't want the reflection to be visible on those transparent area, so we can go for window node editor. Okay, we'll select this material here and put into the node editor by clicking show input and output, and I can select the boolean and minimize drag the opacity also to the specular color. That should have the specular only on the non-transparent area, and we can also go load the bump map. Okay, now this bump map will be tangent space normal, right? And here we will load our normal map. Okay, now for normal map to behave properly, you have to grab it and change the color space to raw, and that's gonna give you the proper normal map. Okay, alright. So then we can start to Control D to duplicate a copy, and let me hide the original one just to have a copy there. Let me holding down D button and click here to reset the pivot to there and just, you know, rotate its plane up. Go to word mode and just drag it over. Okay, and then I can go tweak it by dragging the points around to give it some, that's interesting, to give it some arc, right, in both directions. All right, now I can also use insert edge loop to insert some edge loop to help me define some more variations. Can even use the sculpting tool here, and also lower down the size of the brush and just make it a little bit bigger, and go to grab, and I can sculpt it to tweak the shape of this guy. Right. So that's one little branch. Right, and I can just repeat this step by duplicating this guy and just rotate it and position it somewhere else, maybe over here, right? I have some rotation, maybe a little bit smaller. Okay, to match it with that branch. Okay, that's another variant. We could also be able to do this, insert a edge loop and put it in here, right? That's where the branch starts, maybe even a bit closer. Okay, and I can select that face and hold it on Shift and double click to delete that. Okay, that way I can hit W and holding down D button and click on that point. That's gonna align the pivot there, and that way I can very easily rotate it. It's gonna be keep the branch there, right? Keep the connection there. Oops. Anyway, so I can keep doing this by having another copy, and maybe this time drag it to somewhere even higher, and this time maybe facing the other way. And make it a little bit smaller and put it in here. Okay. And sometimes we don't need all those lines. Maybe that line can be deleted, and it could be okay, right, if I do that. You kind of wanted to keep the poly count low, so I can even just delete those faces. Don't need that either. Insert a edge loop here and then get rid of that. Yeah, that will be better when it comes to the performance. We can also go to the lighting and show two-side lighting. That way we can see both sides. Also, when you have multiple transparency objects, you can see there's some problem in the viewport. Right, there's some viewport problem here. We go to the renderer viewport 2.0 and change it to depth peeling, and that should make it behave a bit better. Okay. Okay, maybe another copy of the base one, or actually maybe this one. Drag it down to the bottom, put it in there and drag it up. Yeah, another one here, maybe a bit smaller, and drag it to this direction. Okay, and yeah, so we can create a cluster of models so that they look good on all different angles, from all different angles. Including the top view. Can use sculpting tool again to tweak it a little bit. All right, and then we can combine everything together. Okay, and that's gonna be a foliage geometry, right? Cool. So next step, we're gonna bring this guy into the game engine and see how we can use this to populate foliage, right? See you next time.